you don't have turns. None of the players have turns.
Hi everyone.
Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to teach you how to play Peach Snaps. This was sold at JCPenney. You can play with this with as little as 2 players to as many as, well, whatever you want to be. According to what is shown, there is no limit, but I highly doubt that you want to play with as many as 10 players. It would be a very quick game. Alright, this is a weird way to open a peach with the way that is shaped like that. Inside you get your instructions pamphlet and a deck of 74 cards. So if you're playing just as a 2-player game only, remove all of the freeze cards from the deck first. More on freeze cards in just a bit. But otherwise, shuffle the entire deck and take the top card of the deck and place it face up on the table. Then deal the rest of the deck to every participating player so that each player has their own deck of cards. After that, each player draws 3 cards from their own decks to form their hand. The goal of the game is to be the first player to play all of the cards in your possession, both from your hand and from the deck. But don't forget to shout Peach Snaps when you play your last card. So to play a card, you must place a card face up over the card shown on the table that matches it. There are 3 ways to match a card on the table. The first is if the symbols match. As shown, the peaches match. So you play your peaches on top like this, and you say peaches. The other symbols are halves, slices, and cans. Next, you can play by the color in the background. So here, I can say blue and play that. The other colors are blue, green, purple, and orange. And third is the number of symbols shown. The colors don't match and the symbols don't match, but there's only 1 symbol in each card, so you can simply just play this and say 1. For numbers, there are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Also, you can only play 1 card at a time, and you must play all the cards in your hand before you draw another 3 cards from your own deck. And the biggest gimmick of this game is you don't have turns. None of the players have turns. Instead, all the players play at the same time. So there'll be a whole bunch of you going, 1, purple, and cans, and it'll be all like a really fast-paced action game to get rid of all your cards. That's why it's pretty much called Peach Snaps. You're snapping down your cards as fast as possible. So, now you know how the game works, let's move on to the action cards. There are 3 total. All 3 of these action cards have one thing in common. They are wild, which means once you play them on the center of the table, any player can play any card on them. The first one is the freeze card. There are 6 of these in the entire deck. Choose a player and shout freeze. That player cannot play any cards until all other players play a combined total of 5 cards on the table. The frozen player will be counted out loud until once the 5th card has been played, they become thawed and start playing again. If you play a freeze card on a player that's already frozen, their card counter resets to 5. So it's a good idea to play another freeze card when there's only like maybe 1 or 2 cards left to be played before they become unfrozen and play again, so that they become frozen once again. Before I talk about the next card, I do want to correct myself and say that you can play these wild cards on any other card on the table, as well as play any card on top of the wild cards. That makes more sense. This is the New Peachy Pile card. Shout New Peachy Pile and then place it on its own by itself on the table to form a brand new discard pile. This means that all players can now place cards on this pile as well. Don't worry about any other piles, you can play on them as well. There are 3 of these in the deck, and the more discard piles there are on the table, the more chaotic it's gonna be. And finally, this is the Clear Hand card. There are only 1 of these in the entire deck. When you play it, shout Clear Hand and discard your whole hand on any center pile with this card on the top. Frozen players can treat this pile as a 3-card pile so that if they're frozen, they go right down to 3 cards just like that. And one other thing, if all players get stuck and cannot find a match on the table, all players then draw 1 more card from their respective decks and continue play that way. Just remember that you have to play all the cards from your hand before you draw another 3 cards from your respective decks. And that's pretty much it for Peach Snaps. So now I'm just going to finish off the video by showing off all of the cards. So you have your blue cards, these are the peaches. Those are the halves. They kind of look like avocados, except the centering is yellow instead of green. You have your slices, and these are cans. That's blue. Here's green. I'll go through these quickly. Purple, and orange. And then you have your 6 freeze cards, your single clear hand card, and then your 3 peachy pile cards, that is. There you go, that's good old Peach Snaps, and that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe for more, and don't forget to check out my gaming channel, Markis P Gaming, for video game Let's Play content. I will see you later, but until then, like always, take care.